All right. Happy Sunday, everybody. It is April 2nd. We survived April Fools, and welcome into the first and hopefully not the last episode of the Bleeding Edge podcast. I'm your host, Rollshambo, aka the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny, the man with the plan, and of course the big boss cooking with the hot sauce for all things knife and EDC related. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is this? And to answer that question, this is a weekly segment that I will be releasing first to channel members and then later to the rest of YouTube. This first episode is going out to everybody. And the reason why is this is the pilot episode, and I'm trying to get a feel for how well people actually enjoy this. So I'm here to provide some background noise for your Sunday, recap the week, and talk about the channel news, goings on in the community. I'm going to drop the bomb on knife and EDC related gear drops, upcoming knives, and if this picks up any traction, we may also bring on some guests from the community to join in the discussion. So turn up the volume, turn down the lights, grab your drink of choice, and follow me over the edge as we dive into the rabbit hole. All right, and let's not waste any more time. I want to jump into this first topic. Let's talk about some channel goings on with the regular YouTube channel. So recently, as of 2 days ago, I smashed that 3,000 subscriber mark, which is absolutely phenomenal and also kind of surprising. When I started the channel back in June of last year, June of 2022, I set a goal. The goal was to hit 1,000 subscribers in 12 months because when I talked to successful channels and when I looked at successful channels, at their starting point, they all hit 1,000 subscribers in 12 months. It was a slow roll for most people, and times change. YouTube algorithms change, and that's kind of what I was shooting for. I underestimated the growth potential of the channel and the times. And so, 2 days ago, it was essentially the 10-month mark. And so to triple that was absolutely phenomenal. Shout out to absolutely everybody who watches and supports the channel, and also to my phenomenal friends, the live stream moderators, Oreo Dave, Matthew Russell, and of course Top Dog. You guys are phenomenal. I have no idea if you're going to watch or listen to this, but if you are, absolutely phenomenal job moderating those live streams. I could not do it without you. Thank you. And to everybody that's actually listening in and saying, whoa, you got live streams. Yes, I do go live every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I do that as a way to connect with the diehards for the channel, the people that want to connect. And so that's 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Pacific. So now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. So what does that look like? Well, we've hit 233,000 views in 28 days. That's the last 28 days. We're closing in on the 500,000 view mark for the channel, which is insanity. And honestly, if I'm being completely honest, it's due majorly to one of my YouTube shorts going what I would consider semi-viral. Right now, I have a YouTube short on knife stropping that I put up like a month ago, and it's about to top 130,000 views, which is ridiculous. I've never seen that kind of penetration on a piece of content. That's right, I use the word penetration. I'm not taking it back either. The funny thing, that actually boosted some of my other YouTube shorts as well. And so now I have multiple that are over the 10,000 view mark. I think one's approaching like 25,000 views. And it's crazy because I didn't see myself getting that kind of production and viewership this early on. I just didn't see it. But it is really, really cool to see. Now, if only that would translate to views on my regular long form content. I would probably go nuts if one of my regular, 10, 15 minute long videos hit 100,000 views in that short of time. That would be pretty insane, but I would, that'd be awesome. Things that I've done this week, a couple notable reviews. I reviewed the QSP Rhino, which I got from the Apex Pass Round group. I did not buy it, and it was not given to me. It was loaned to me through a Pass Round group that many of these channels use, and I myself use, called the Apex Pass Round group. So shout out to them. Lots and lots of great channels in there, by the way. Like, for example, I know that Kev from Lefty.edc is in there. We've got channels like, who else is in there? Oh my goodness. Tri-State EDC is in there. Gosh, I don't know why I'm blanking. Maybe first episode jitters, you'll have to forgive me. But there's a lot of channels that you probably watch that are part of that group. Anyways, I thought it was kind of crazy because there was another small channel around 1,000 subscribers who you might know, Beard of Doom. Shout out to Beard of Doom. Awesome guy. Love Beard of Doom. But we have differing opinions on this knife, and the funny part about that is that people were actually commenting on my review, saying things like, just look at the difference between the two reviews. And the interesting part is that he crapped all over this knife. He shat on it, and he did so remorselessly. And I'm not saying the knife is perfect, I just had a different opinion of it. And the interesting thing is that some people think that because I didn't absolutely crap on this knife, that I must be a shill, that I must be paid, or that I only say good things about knives, which is definitely not true. Not in the slightest. I've definitely crapped on my fair share of knives. Just go back and watch my content on the Demko 80-20.5, which I put in the garbage bin until recently, but that's a story for a different time. But it's interesting to me, and it's worth talking about, because two people can have two separate opinions without one of them automatically being a shill or trying to sell out. And I think that's something that we have to mention, that I have to talk about, because I like and respect Beard of Doom, but we just have different opinions. So, for example, he didn't like the ergos. Man has massive hands. Dude's hands are big. I've got average size hands. Like, my hands are, if you were to look at a glove size, my hands are large to extra large men's. And that is the average size for a man's hands. So the ergos are going to be different for me than they are for him. It's just something that's going to happen. Now, we agree that certain fit and finish things are not acceptable. And I actually do agree with him that I wish the price tag had gone down a little bit. However, even on the pricing front, it's a factory knife with mokatai. Go out and find me a $350 knife right now, not named the QSP Rhino, with mokatai. You'd probably struggle doing that because there aren't any, if many, and I looked and I couldn't find any. The closest is going to be the EMP EDC Relative, which QSP was originally going to make. I know that EMP EDC sent them their design, and then they decided not to go through with it. And then, before too long, they come out with the Rhino, which has a very, very, very similar blade shape. But I'll say this, you cannot copyright a blade shape. Otherwise, we wouldn't have, worn cliffs and drop points. Everyone would have a funky blade. There are a lot of stylistic differences between the two. And I think that it's a bit of a cop-out to say, oh, they copied them, they stole their IP. I don't know. I don't agree with that. The blade shape is eerily similar, but so is every drop point knife to every other drop point knife. And if that was a valid argument, Benchmade would just sue everybody for copying the bug out. And we wouldn't really have very many things to talk about on that front. So, again, like and respect Beard of Doom. We do have two different opinions. It does not mean that one of us is being negative for reviews or for views, or being positive to suck up to a manufacturer or a retailer. None of that is going on. We just have two different opinions. So if you saw those two reviews and you were wondering, now you know. Also, I did a review on the Smooth Precision Pens bolt action design. This thing is sweet. This is the first high quality, high end EDC pen that I've checked out, and this thing is awesome. The production level and quality was absolutely phenomenal. So if you're looking for a high quality titanium EDC pen with refillable replaceable cartridges, go and check that out. Smooth Precision Pens down in Texas is pretty dang sweet, and they were nice enough to send me one to check out when I requested it. And yeah, lots of good things to say about them. They've been absolutely killing the game. And if you didn't know, they were formerly known as Urban Survival Gear, and then smartly they rebranded. So yeah, they made quite a name for themselves with the TIE Scribe, and their newer variants are basically just improvements and upgrades on that. And they've recently dropped some new stuff. I'll make sure to link them down below in the description, as well as just about everything that I mentioned today. So feel free to hop down there if you're interested in anything I talk about, because it will be linked below remorselessly. I don't have any affiliate links for them. That's okay. I don't need to get paid on everything that people click on my channel. But if you want one, go and check them out. Chances are they're sold out. But they might not be. They come out with new stuff all the time, so you really, truly never know. Some new things coming in. I did actually rank the Petrified Fish Victor, finally. I've had that knife for a month. Fantastic knife. The knife is $45 freaking dollars. $45 at the budget realm is incredible, considering that you get so much good stuff. And I'll make sure that this video is linked up above. You'll see a little link pop up in the corner. But yeah, guys, it's fantastic is what it is. And I was kind of nervous about doing my ranking video for it, because unfortunately calling a $45 knife a Grail just doesn't feel right to me, and it doesn't feel right to a lot of people, but it fits as far as my scoring system is concerned, because it's $45. You get good quality materials for that price. You also get extremely good ergonomics. It's like the knife was designed specifically to be the best feeling knife in hand, and that the mic card is phenomenal. So, I was kind of nervous about that, because I knew I was like, somebody's going to comment on this and say, how can you have a $45 knife as a Grail? Everyone can get it. You know what? Everyone should get it. But it did actually prompt me to make some updates to my Grail or garbage ranking system. So we got a channel update. Check it out. I'm going to be splitting the Grail or garbage leaderboard by price. No longer am I going to just rank knives all on the same leaderboard. It doesn't make sense to compare, for example, a $2,000 Sean O'Connell mini Persian custom to something like a $45 Petrified Fish Victor production model. It doesn't make sense. So I split it up, and now we're going to have multiple boards. So the first one is going to be the budget banger board. That's anything from $0 to $99. So if it's in the double digit price range, that's going to be on the budget board, $99 and under. Then I got $100 to $199 range. That's going to be your mid-range knives. We start to get a little more premium. After that, we have the premium level knife ranking board, which is going to be, of course, $200 to $299. And then lastly, we've got the bougie baller, the big baller leaderboard, which is going to come in at the $300 plus. And that's the thing, because you know what? I might not be able to compare a $2,000 custom knife to a $45 budget knife, but I can sure as hell compare a $300 quality production knife to a $2,000 production custom knife. Because now we're talking about premium materials all around. We're talking about a premium price tag. We're talking about the price range where people look at it and say, do I really want to spend, my month's grocery bill on this knife? And so yeah, those are comparable. and I'm really looking forward to that. So moving forward, if you're watching the channel, if you watch the Grail or Garbage ranking videos, I will make sure to be talking about them in reference to the other knives in their price range. So just keep an eye out for that. That is coming very soon. And while we're on the topic of knives and reviews and videos that are coming very soon, I'm going to be checking out the Iconic lineup. Iconic spelled E-I-K-O-N-I-C. They make knives under $100 that are designed by some of your favorite designers. I'm talking Sharp by Designs, Brian Nadeau, Ramon Chavez, Jonas Iglesias, and these are just the first knives that they've come out with. And they're all going to be under $100. You're going to see them with more budget-friendly materials like D2 steel and also like micarta and G10, but they're an opportunity, right, for people to get their hands on knives designed by people that normally you have to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get. And so I actually reached out to my friends over at Blade Ops, who recently picked up the channel and said, hey, I would really like to check these out, because I think that it provides an interesting opportunity for people to be able to get a design from one of these designers without paying those massive price tags. So shout out to them. They're sending them my way, and so I'll be doing a full review here very shortly, probably sometime this next week. And yeah, we'll be making sure to get some more information out there about those knives. To go along with that, however, Blade Ops is also going to be sending me a couple out the front knives. We're going to be getting our hands on some knives like, for example, the Hogue Counter-Strike, and a new one, a new OTF knife that just hit the market from a company I've never heard of. They're freaking invisible, okay? I'm talking about the SOS Knives out the front. That's the name of the company, SOS Knives, and the name of the knife is the OTF, which is not confidence inspiring. If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know what to think. I tried to look them up online when they said, hey, would you want to review this as well? It's new, we expect it to be popular. And of course I'm going to say yes. I always want new content. I always want to be one of the first to talk about a new knife. And OTFs are incredibly expensive. They're always expensive, right? Even the hot ones, the popular ones, you know, your Kershaw Livewire, which is like $240 or whatever, $200. That's still a lot of money. And so to get an OTF at the $100 price point or less, it draws some question marks because we don't know about the quality. But I'm also not trying to judge a knife without checking it out first. I think that's a bit asinine, because we as knife reviewers in the knife community, we tend to be harsh. We're like, oh, I've never heard of that company, it must be garbage. But everyone's got to start somewhere, and this one they're telling me is $99, aluminum chassis, D2 blade, and it's going to get its day in the sun. My channel is going to review it, and I'll link it down below as well in case you want to check it out. Have you ever heard of SOS Knives? I haven't. They're new, and it's coming in my review package from Blade Ops, so we'll see. We're going to give it a fair shot. I just really don't know how well it's going to perform. I hope that it's good. I hope that it's great. I hope that the action feels good and that the lockup is just as good as any other OTF knife, but we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and start getting into some new knives that have recently dropped or recently become available that you may or may not know of. Starting off with the Spyderco Para 3 DLT exclusive in crewwear. $187. So if you're a Para 3 person, you know, some people are big fans of the Paramilitary 2, maybe some of the Shaman, maybe you like all of them. I currently have the DLT exclusive Paramilitary 2 in crewwear, and I gotta tell you, this crewwear that Spyderco does is amazing. I believe very strongly that they do crewwear better than damn near just about anybody. And I'm telling you, their heat treat is the best. But DLT does these Spyderco exclusives that they drop, every now and then, and they do different models. So it's not like, if you miss out on this one, that you could just wait a couple months and another Para 3 exclusive will come out. It's more likely that they come out with a different Spyderco model. So if you're a big Para 3 person, make sure to check out DLT in the drops section, or just, search for Para 3, and the purple one, the purple G10 is the one that you want, because that is the one with the crew wear. It's also the version that has the DLC coating, which stands for diamond-like carbon. It's an extremely protected coating. $187 will pick that one up for you. Another one that you will be able to find at DLT is the Chavez Redemption Street with titanium and M390, and this variant is the full tie model. It's going to be a bit more expensive, but for Chavez designs, Ramon Chavez designs, they just demand a higher price point. That one will be $345, but of course you can find it there as well. If we were to go on over to our buddies at White Mountain Knives, which, if you are shopping at White Mountain Knives and you want both free shipping and 10% off, feel free to use my discount code. That's RSB10. So the letters RSB and the number 10, and it'll get you a smooth 10% off. I don't get anything when you use that, but you get 10% off. And when you're spending hundreds of dollars, that could actually save you a decent amount. So a couple over at White Mountain Knives that you might want to be aware of are the BRS Bare Bones Balisong with a 154 cm steel. It's a channel design. If you're into butterfly knives, you know what that is. And you also know that BRS, for the last couple of years, ever since COVID, they've kind of been hard to get. They've done a few releases, but their drops sell extremely quickly. And if you've been looking for a bare bones model, this one is $294. Or if you do the discount code that I just mentioned, that'll save you $29.50. You're welcome. That's what we do here. Another one over at White Mountain Knives that's worth checking out is the ProTech SBR, going for $225. That's a Les George design, very popular. If you're looking for one, you know you're looking for one, and that one is also available over at White Mountain Knives, $225. Or you can use my discount code and get that for basically $203, since you'd be saving a smooth $22 with that discount code. Speaking of our friends over at Blade Ops, they've got some good ones. Now, if you're looking for Chris Reeves knives and you're like, why does their lead time on their website say years? Am I never going to be able to get one? Great news. The Chris Reeves large Sebenza 31, as well as the small Sebenza 31 in MagnaCut, which is hard to get, is now available over at Blade Ops. The large Sebenza 31 is $600. It's not cheap, but it is made in America. It is using MagnaCut, and they are available. So if you want one, if you've been searching for one, I will link it down below. It's definitely worth knowing about. In other news, the Kershaw Livewire is going to be coming back here very, very soon. You can see it on Blade HQ right now. $240. If you want to do the pre-order to make sure that you get one, and honestly I do suggest it, because the last couple times they came out, they just sold out almost instantaneously. Blade HQ is listing at $240 on the pre-order. You can get in on that for $5 down, and I'll leave a link in the description down below. But for those of you who don't know, it's got 20 CV on the blade steel, a really, really great action according to everybody else. I, of course, haven't had a chance to review it yet because they sell out, and nowhere that I'm connected to could get one. So that means that I couldn't get one for review. But it is what it is. They're very popular for a reason. $240, aluminum, 20 CV on the blade, $240. Not bad considering what you're getting. Now, also at Blade HQ, they're listing the Microtech MSI or Ramlock stitch as coming soon. Now, you cannot pre-order these, and they are not telling us what they're going to list them at, and that's actually a little bit of a segue into the next topic. Let's talk a little bit about knife community news, and yeah, you'll see what I mean. So, in the community, people have blown up because Knife Center listed some microtech MSIs for sale, finally, right? Someone other than microtech is listing these for sale. That's a great sign, right? Well, no, I mean, we thought that it would be, but it's not, because the MSRP that microtech is selling these at is $250, which is the price that we all prepared for. We were good with that, and we all got a little bit upset when we saw that scalpers were selling them for, $400 on the secondary market. But that's what scalpers do, so we kind of expected that. What we did not expect is seeing Knife Center turn around and sell these knives way above MSRP at scalper prices. That's right, Knife Center had a few, and they sold them between $386 and $415. Do remember that the MSRP of the microtech standard issue and ramlock stitch was about $250 for the MSI and about $300 for the stitch. And they sold out. And that's super disappointing because, listen, people, I totally get it. I understand when knives sell out quickly. I'm good with that. I'm actually very good with that, because that just means that a knife is popular and the company that made it did something right. There's nothing wrong with that. I do take issue when retailers sell brand new knives above MSRP. That's just getting a little bit greedy. And yes, they're businesses. Yes, they get to make a profit, but as consumers, we vote with our dollars. So it's our responsibility to remind retailers that at the end of the day, if we ain't buying, they ain't selling. And so I urge you, from here on out, look at these things and don't fall for the scalper prices, whether it's coming from eBay or Knife Center. Very, very disappointed in Knife Center personally, but let me know what you think about Knife Center in the comment section down below. Anyways, everybody, this has been the first episode of the Bleeding Edge podcast, and I'm excited to see what the feedback on this style is. Again, it's going to be available first and foremost to channel members, with this very first pilot episode being an exception, because I want to give everyone the opportunity to see what this kind of topic is going to be about and also make up their own minds. Becoming a channel member is very cheap. We're talking about $2 to $3 a month. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you too could support the channel and get first access to content like this, which I will plan on making longer in the future. And we will also plan on doing things like bringing people in for interviews and talking more in depth about different topics that the community is interested in. So consider becoming a channel member and unlocking the Bleeding Edge podcast for you. That's all I've got for you today. Hope everyone has an amazing week ahead of them. I'm Rollshambo. I'll catch you on the flip side.